What are you shining your light for?
Where's your phone?
No! You're not police! Go.
We're gonna have to redo scene 7.
Philly and Keely have been living the van life dream for over 6 years, traveling the world in their self-built vans, embracing freedom, nature, and adventure. But even with all that experience, one night in Greece nearly broke them.
Welcome back. Welcome to a sunny Greece.
Sunny but very cold.
Yes, do not be fooled by this weather. It is extremely cold.
But today, guys, we are going to check out a place called Meteora, and it is meant to be the coolest thing to see in Greece. We're going to check that place out. It's meant to be super cool, so I'm excited to hit the road.
We parked on the outskirts of it in this boulder field, which is really cool because we could do some climbing. But now it's time to go in. I'm excited to bring you guys along as well because it's meant to be beautiful.
Greece is a country we haven't really explored, so we're both quite excited to check it out. We have heard that it's got some insane, obviously we've already seen mountains, forests, like really diverse geological situations, so we're excited to check it out.
They'd spent the day exploring, soaking in the beauty and history. But by nightfall, they parked up in a quiet spot and settled in to rest. Then, in the middle of the night, banging, flashlights.
What are you shining your light for?
Where's your phone?
No! You're not police!
Am I coming in the front with you?
I don't know, I just can't see anybody anymore. They're just all of a sudden gone.
They just appeared out of
Bushes.
bushes.
They kept like telling me to open the door.
No, there he is there.
Where?
There's somebody in front of us over to the right.
People were outside, yelling that they were the police. But Philly and Keely knew something was off. They weren't real police. Instinct took over. Philly jumped into the driver's seat. Keely stayed in the back, filming in case something happened. They drove off and found a new place to park, heart still racing.
Where?
There's somebody in front of us over to the right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
You think I was just gonna open the door?
He was trying the handle.
I know, that's when I knew it wasn't the police.
Yeah.
So now, we're just kind of stranded on the side of a road.
To give a little context, we'd been looking at park for night in this area. There's some hot springs, like we said, we wanted to come to hot springs, and we had read loads of horror stories on the park for nights. But then we knew other people who had been here, and we messaged and they were like, no, it felt totally safe, and you know, it's out of season. So we've had where we've read park for nights before and had wonderful experiences. This was not that situation.
All right guys, we parked up significant distance away from that other park up, but what can I say?
I'm really annoyed. Guys, the thing is for me, right, is the absolute audacity that they kept trying to get in the van and kept demanding that we open the van to them. And I'm like, what was their plan? Did they have a weapon? Were they trying to, like, how were they planning to steal everything while we were both here? Like,
well, I think we just did the right thing. We just jumped in and drove away, so it's just annoying because it's something that it does kind of set you back, especially us as well, because this has happened to us quite a lot and we did actually get robbed. And it's just annoying because we've always had that fear in our heads, and when something like this happens, it just brings everything right back to the surface. And then there's going to be a healing process. It's going to just take time before you feel safe in the van again, you know?
The next morning, they reflected on how differently things could have ended. If they had opened the door, what would have happened? This experience shook them. Even seasoned travelers were left questioning everything.
but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't sleep very well. Usually I would say break-ins are crimes of opportunity, but this wasn't an opportunity. They knew we were in the van and they chose to keep trying to get in the van. They did not give a shit that we were in the van, and I think for me that shows that they were willing to be violent. And the situation is, what would have happened if we were naive enough to think maybe it is the police, I'll open the door and see what they want? Yeah, it's not some randomer that comes out of a bush banging on your van trying to get into your van. So my concern is, if we were naive and we opened the door, they would have had to physically attack us to rob us. Their plan was to rob us, and the only way you could do that with us there is to attack us. And that's the thing that shook me, guys. It wasn't an opportunistic smash and grab. It was, I'm willing to violate you to get into your home and take your things, and that is so effed up.
2 campers ventured out late at night, exploring a snowy forest trail. With flashlights and a camera in hand, they set off into the quiet frozen woods. But the sound of snow crunching beneath their boots wasn't the only thing out there.
It's hard to tell with the wind, but it almost sounded like something definitely made some kind of noises over there. So we're gonna check it out. Occasionally snowmobilers come through here, but other than that, it's pretty remote. This is an abandoned train bridge. Okay. I almost kind of don't want to go back over there.
A loud howl echoed through the trees, then another. Unease crept in, but curiosity pulled them forward. Suddenly, a scream pierced the air, high-pitched, unnatural, and it didn't happen just once.
You got like chills going down your spine?
Yup.
I hope the camera got that. Technically, this train bridge is trespassing, so no one comes by here anymore. So we come here late at night, search for animals, stuff like that. But there's no people back here. Oh, you can take that one path up here.
Yeah.
Is that right there?
Yeah. Picture the babies. Oh, baby.
Okay, I don't even want to go. I don't even want to. What the hell was that? Dude, fuck this. Should we?
You got,
Do it for the video?
you got your knife?
Yeah, but what the fuck is that? That's some deer tracks. Oh, did you ever hear like a rabbit get killed? They
Yeah.
sound pretty
That was too loud though.
far to turn back.
Yeah.
We can turn back, really. I should have my fucking rifle.
They pressed on, venturing off trail, weapons ready. Then they turned off their flashlights, hoping to heighten their senses. But that made it worse. The howling returned, louder, distorted, a cross between a groan and a roar. Then the wind picked up. A storm rolled in. Visibility dropped.
Alright, let's keep fucking moving.
Yeah.
So we've been hearing some really fucking spooky shit, dude. I'm only giving it like maybe 5 more minutes. So we're walking.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of the woods, about half an hour from my house. I only got a knife, but that's not gonna stop the fucking grizzly bear or whatever this is. So, it's coming from up there. I don't even know if I want to. We'll see what it is, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, this is like something fucking unknown.
Let's be safe how long we're out here, because I think there's a storm coming. It's getting real windy.
Alright. Okay.
Go. That's pretty loud. That's close.
Okay. So maybe.
I know. Oh, go. It's coming. Oh, crap. Wait. Don't. Wait. Go. Wait. Holy, I think I saw it. Go. Go. Go.
Then, just as they were about to turn back, the sound returned. Closer. Too close. Panic took over. They ran, snow crunching beneath their feet, breath heavy, voices shaking. They eventually made it to safety. But their fear was real, raw, and caught on camera. Whatever was out there, it wasn't animal, and it wasn't human. Morgan and her boyfriend spend a lot of time deep in the Appalachian woods. Over time, they've captured some eerie footage, from distant screams to strange noises echoing through the trees. But this encounter was different. This one left them terrified. They were filming a harmless video, surrounded by thick forest, when a loud whistle suddenly echoed behind them. It was sharp, deliberate, and undeniably not human.
We're gonna have to redo scene 7. It might be okay.
Yeah,
I don't think we planned on redoing scene 7, did we?
No, I think it's fine. I think it's that was the last one, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little cold. We should.
Okay, let's back up. I'm gonna keep recording with this just for some extra behind the scenes, if that's cool.
They froze. Both turned their heads slowly, speechless. But in Appalachia, you don't acknowledge things like this. So they kept filming and pretended they didn't hear it. Her boyfriend picked up the camera and panned it around the dark forest behind them. They thought they'd captured nothing until they reviewed the footage later. That's when they saw it. Multiple glowing eyes in the distance, staring, watching. They began packing up fast, camera still rolling just in case. And then, the same eerie whistle echoed again, louder this time, closer.
I'm gonna keep recording with this just for some extra behind the scenes, if that's cool. I'll try and get this into the fastest that I can.
Yeah, it's really chilly. I think we should.
Try and hurry,
Yeah, I think we should.
Will that get in there? Okay, what's your legs? What's your arm room? Okay. Yep.
This time, they didn't hesitate. No words, no reaction. They just finished loading the car and drove away, pretending nothing happened. That night made them question everything. In the Appalachian wilderness, it's not always wild animals you need to worry about. Years ago, Jody and Joe decided London wasn't for them. They quit their jobs, sold their home, and invested everything into building their dream life, a home on wheels. They've been traveling full-time ever since, chasing freedom and adventure. But one night, that dream life turned into something darker. Joe had parked up for the night after a long day of driving. He was exhausted, ready to rest and refuel. But at 4 a.m., something jolted him awake. Someone was trying to get inside the van.
It's 4 in the morning, and I've just been woken up by some guy opening the back door. I've no idea if he drilled it and I was in a deep sleep. I open my eyes and there's a guy staring me in the face. I just shouted at the guy and said, "What the f-?" And he just calmly backed away and walked up the road and just disappeared, like it was nothing. So dangerous. I shut the back door and locked it, but yeah, now I'm just up and looking out the window nervously.
Joe was sure he locked the door, but somehow it was open, and a man had already poked his head inside. Without thinking, Joe leapt up and slammed the door shut. Then he watched through the window as the man slowly walked away into the darkness, saying nothing, leaving nothing behind, just questions. That night changed something in him. He didn't speak. He just packed up and left. Sometimes, van life isn't as free as it seems, especially when you're alone and vulnerable. Madeline had been living solo in her van, sharing peaceful adventures on the road with her followers. But one night, that peaceful journey took a terrifying turn. The video begins around 9 p.m. She's driving, trying to explain what happened, but she's too shaken to focus. She stops recording, finds another place to park, and later explains the ordeal. Madeline had spent a few nights at the same rest stop, but this night felt different. A truck driver kept pulling in, parking, leaving, again and again. It woke her, made her uneasy.
1:30 in the morning. I'm at a rest stop right now. Tonight was absolutely insane. I'll try to explain what happened, and if I don't explain it right, I'll just do it again tomorrow. For the last couple nights that I have been at that hot spring, there have been trucks like coming and going, and I haven't thought much of it. I was like a little bit weirded out because last night there was a truck that was like kind of being weird. He would like park for a little bit and then drive around and then park and then drive around, like being really loud, and it kept waking me up. That's why I remember it so well. And he would like leave his headlights on, which are really bright out there because it's super dark. But I was like, whatever, like he's not bothering me. Then another truck comes. I don't know if it's the same person or if it's a different person, but a truck comes. I'm like, whatever, maybe this is just like what they do.
Then another truck arrived, or maybe it was the same one. She let her dog out briefly, but then loud yelling and strange voices filled the night air. Her anxiety spiked. Then the truck began circling her van, the engine roaring on the icy ground.
So I let Athena out to go to the bathroom, and then when I let her back in, I hear like really loud talking, and I'm just thinking like, oh, like, I don't know, there's these people talking out there. But then I start to like listen to what he's saying, and he's like yelling, and he's like, "Are you scared? You should be scared. Are you spooked? You should be." Like, but like in a really mean voice and like really loud, because I can hear him and he's not that close to me. So he's like screaming it. I wasn't scared until he was like screaming that. I don't even know what he was talking about. Anyway, then he starts driving like a maniac. He like skirts out, and it's snowing, by the way. It's like super snowing and icing, and he's like driving all around, and he like circles around my van. Okay, so he circles around my van, and then he keeps going. And at this point, I've got the keys. Like as soon as I heard it, like he was like screaming, I like grabbed my keys. As soon as I didn't see his lights anymore, I just like booked it out of there.
Madeline grabbed her phone, keys, and tried to find another rest stop. She knew she couldn't stay. She left, adrenaline pumping, fear setting in. She drove over potholes, panicking, and lost her spare tire along the way. When she finally reached the freeway, it was blocked by a fence.
So I go 3 miles down this like random road, and there's these potholes, and I don't notice them right away, and it's too late by the time I notice them, and I bottom out so bad that my spare tire falls off of my van, and then I reach where I'm supposed to turn onto the freeway, and there's a fence. It's fenced off, so I have to turn back around. I finally make it out onto the freeway. I'm gonna talk about animals being hurt, and so if you want to skip this part, I'll put like a timestamp, like, yeah, where you could skip to. And there's just like dead bunnies like all along this road, and it's so heart-wrenching and sad.
As if things couldn't get worse, she turned back. Eventually, she made it onto the freeway, only to find the road scattered with dead rabbits. Exhausted, she finally found another rest stop and settled for the night. Being on the road alone means trusting your instincts. And that night, her instincts may have saved her life. In May 2015, a solo hiker was enjoying a quiet trip deep in the forest. Just him, the trail, and the peaceful sounds of nature, until everything changed. He walked slowly, leaves crunching beneath his boots, when he noticed something in the trees. A tall figure, dressed in all black, watching. Its face was pale, featureless. The man froze. His breath quickened. He turned and slowly started down the trail. But when he looked back, the figure was gone. He didn't stick around to see what would happen next. He ran, fast, down the overgrown path. The video cuts off suddenly, leaving behind only fear and questions. What was lurking in the woods with him that day? Some of these campers made it out unharmed, but none of them left without a story they'll never forget. Which encounter stayed with you the most? Let me know down in the comments. And if you enjoy these terrifying encounters from the wild, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just remember, when night falls in the forest, it's not always the animals you need to be afraid of.